Well, it is a big pleasure for me to introduce my friend and our Mayor, Paul Montgomery. This is Paul's first time to speak to Kiwanis since he's been mayor. And the other day we were talking, Paul and I said, Paul, what's it like to succeed as mayor? A previous mayor that was brilliant and handsome. He said, Pat, I wouldn't know. Paul has truly a distinguished career, both in business and engaged in the community well before the time he became mayor. We think of him as an Eastman guy, but he did spend over 22 years at Eastman, where he retired as the vice president of community and corporate relations. But he also had 10 years at Texas Instruments and 7 years at the press. You're probably working right here where we're standing. He has a bachelor's and an MBA degree from King University, and he's also been designated by the university as a distinguished alumnus. Um, he serves on several boards over the years, including Hope, Help Our Potential Evolve. Uh, he's a member of the Central Baptist Church, where he serves as a deacon. His wife Cherry has been by his side through all this, and he has two adult children. And I think his secret weapon for getting elected to anything has been his grandchildren. They're really cute. And so he brings them down to the Civic Auditorium for early voting. They get you votes, Paul. I know this. But Paul was elected as alderman in 2021, and then he became mayor in Kingsport in August 2024. Please give a great Kiwanis welcome to my friend, our mayor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pat. Thank you. And thank you for letting me come today and speak to you all. It's definitely a pleasure for me to be here. And hopefully you'll be easy on me. When Pat asked me to speak a few months ago, I didn't have an idea what I was going to speak about. And then a few weeks ago, after the campaign season started, he said, "Now, you're not going to be political, are you?" And I said, "No, I'm not. So I'm going to ask you to make sure that I don't get political today, okay?" It is the best of times, and it's the most challenging of times to be serving in local government nowadays. I say that it's the best of times, and I'm looking around the room and I see several people who have served this city and who have worked in this city. We have the best city staff, second to none, that we can all agree about that. Can we not? Yes. Let's give them a round of applause. In that, our citizenry is very well too. You help us to do better. You help us to keep doing the good things that we do, and I'm thankful for that. And also our BMA. We have a BMA that actually, when Pat was there as well, we worked well together. We just seem to be all complimentary of each other, so that makes for a good formula for doing good things for our city. It's challenging at times. Why is it challenging? It's challenging because social media keeps it challenging for us. There are folks out there that want to always look at the glass as half empty, and that's a challenge. And the second thing is, now we have state and federal government deciding that they want to do local government, and so it's a challenge to keep them out of our business so we can do what we need to do. However, this city has been blessed over the years to have good local government management, and so I think that is something that we can all be proud of. I want to talk to you today about two things. I want to talk to you about what's going on with your tax dollars, and I also want to talk to you about the Kingsport spirit and take any questions that you may have. It's not flipping. Oh. Okay. This slide here. Oh, I went too many slides. What's happened? Okay. I'm out of sequence now. Okay, there it is. Okay. This slide here tells us exactly where we are. We spent last year with the tightest budget ever. We had about 1% surplus at the end of the year. That is tough. The state, when you see this graph here that you're looking at, the state requires, they would like for us to end about 15% or better as cash on hand. We actually spent the year with 16%, which means we have about almost 2 months of operating dollars in our coffers today. They would like to see that a little bit higher, 3 to 4, maybe 5 months of operating dollars there. However, we are, like I said, we are making the best use of the dollars that we have today. The next thing I want to talk to you about is, I've got to get this slide coordinated. Last year, we passed a budget that included a tax increase. And I know everybody in here loves what we did. But that's one of the hardest things that I've had to do in my time on this BMA. We've done it twice. We did it in 2023. We went 12 cents a tax increase. We did last year for 23% tax increase. The one we did in 2023 was immediately erased the next year by the ratio appraisal. So we actually went down significantly in 2024. And therefore, we last year had to make some changes in order to do 3 things. We had to provide for our infrastructure, we had to keep our paving program going strong, and we also had to pay our people. 8% of our budget for the tax increase we had last year went to infrastructure. 42% goes to paving, and 46% went to people. So that tells you everything you want to know what your tax dollars went to in that case. I'm having a hard time with this clicker. The paving structure was this. $4.5 million goes toward the paving, or the paving plan that we have. 2.5 of it went to Cooks Valley. $750,000 went to Worst Streets First. $500,000 went to Airport Parkway. $500,000 for concrete panels, and $200,000 for paving preservation. Of course, we were able to leverage federal dollars for our MTPO, that we were able to go and do and have an 80-20% 80-20 amount of funding, which we put 20 and the state puts in 80, or feds put in 80, and we're able to take care of Allen Road, Clinchfield Street, Eastman Road, Manview Parkway. We also are looking at $10 million we have in infrastructure. That is bonded money that we have there. We spend on that. Our people are the backbone of what we do and how we do it. Serving our community, building for the future, that's what to do. As you see this group that before you today, these are basically the people that make it possible for us to live here, work here, play here, and raise a family here. A very good looking group, also very young looking group. We often talk a lot about Kingsport spirit these days. The Kingsport spirit is alive and well, and I can see the smiles on your faces when I say the Kingsport spirit, because that is something that is definitely, we go back to J. Fred Johnson giving us that thrust of what we have today. I want to take something and do something here with you today. As you see before you the J. Fred Johnson quote, I want to read you a letter that I received from a citizen. And it goes like this. Dear Mayor Montgomery, my wife and I were in Kingsport this past weekend, which happened to be January 16th, looking to relocate to this area. After looking at numerous apartments and houses, the tire alarm in my car alerted me to a very low tire pressure. We pulled into Hayworth Tire and Auto Service on Weststone Drive in Kingsport. It is my experience with this small business I wish to make you aware of. It was about 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. There were a few cars already there, and the person helping us took our car right away. Within 20 minutes, we were out the door. When I asked what I owed, he said just a screw, and the tech put a plug in it, no charge. I said, no charge? Let me give you something for it. And he replied, it was no big deal. Wow. This act of kindness and good service really helped us narrow down where we want to make our retirement home. The courtesy extended by this person and the politeness of many others in Kingsport was something that used to be commonplace in America. Kingsport has it in spades. I thought you might like to hear something positive when there is so much negative out there. Thank you for your time. All the best. That warmed my heart when I got that letter from that man to tell me that he took the time to recognize what we do. And as I go through the city from time to time, I ask people the questions, why did you move here? And there are good stories time and time again of how we are actually representing ourselves throughout. Within the Kingsport city departments, for the last year or so, city management has decided to give Spirit Awards recognizing people for doing good things. And it's called the Spirit Award. It's helping there. We also do well in helping our neighbors. As you all know, that during the Helene hurricane that went through this area, we had public works folks, we had fire people, and we had police helping our neighbors through that tragedy. We as a board have received good recommendations, but the city also was recognized by Tennessee Municipal League this past spring. And we recognized for our Main Street project that took 2.5 years to complete on time. And the most important part of that is on time, on budget, and no business was shut down during that time. That is very significant. We also received national awards for a wastewater treatment plant and the sewage plant. We get a gold medal award by Atlas for our teams that we have. I mean, there are so many examples of what's going on positive in our city. We undertook a strategic plan. It's been 20 years since we've had a strategic plan in our city, and we took that on. We spent about 100 hours working on the plan. We sent the plan out to you to review and get answers back. We got back over 2,000 responses. And guess what? 89% of those were positive. Now, who does that this day and time? Who gets positive responses in the world that we live in is 50-50. So that was a good endorsement of what we're doing, how we're doing it. We worked on a mission, which is basically serving our community, building for the future. Our vision, keeping Kingsport a safe, thriving, and welcoming community that embraces small town values while offering big city opportunities, making a perfect place to live, work, play, and raise a family. Our values are simply about efficient government, working with responsibilities that we have, sustainable infrastructure, safe and welcoming community is the backbone of our values that we have, and we want a world-class education system for our children. As you well know, there are many projects going on in our city right now, and we are proud of each one of them. But I want to talk just a little bit about our dental clinic. Our dental clinic is probably one of its kind in the nation, maybe I would say, particularly in our state, where you have University of Tennessee, ETSU, Northeast State, and now Donis Bennett, all coming together in one building, working together for the common good for all citizens. The Governor Lee, gave us $6.5 million last year. Now, no good deed goes unpunished, because we're going back again this year and asking them 5.5. 6.5 was for the first phase. 5.5 will take us through the second phase, and we are working the legislature to make that happen. And we have good confidence that we will be successful in making that a reality. What does that mean for us? It means that we're having about $11 million in a facility here that you, the citizens, don't have to put a dime in, that we'll all be proud of, and that one day we'll all be proud to say we have a dental school in Kingsport, which will be a great asset for us, for the people that here, they can go to school here, stay here, and work here. That's a significant accomplishment. Other things that we have going, the Kingsport Library moving to the mall. And I guess how many of you been to the mall since it's been there? That is great. I'm sure you agree with me that is great. Everybody talks about how bright that place is and how much they had some people who hadn't been to the library in years are going to the library there now. Like the library downtown, it's been demoed completely now. So the renovation part is taking place. We are going to start that, and next year the library downtown should be back open again. Moving to our play structures, parks. Blue Cross Health Place will be operating in April. In 6 weeks, we'll be opening that place. And I'm sure that if you've driven by it, you see the bright colors, how beautiful that is. Another great addition to us here in our city. And now, again, Blue Cross Blue Shield put in $7.8 million for that. Again, another opportunity that we as taxpayers did not have to pay for. So we've got folks working constantly trying to get grants, trying to get grants from donors like Blue Cross, as well as from the state of Tennessee. This week, Ryan McReynolds was down in Nashville knocking on doors. We constantly are asking, making sure that we get our share of the money coming back to our city. On Bays Mountain, I believe there's every day I get an announcement about something happened at Bays Mountain. It is phenomenal. It is definitely one of our crown jewels that we have here. There's nothing like it. No other city park is as big in this state as Bays Mountain. We're thankful for the Brenda and David Fox for taking that on, putting a play structure there that only enhances the offerings that are offered there. And That opened it in November. We cut the ribbon on that in November. Then now we move to the Justice Center, another partnership that we have with Sullivan County that we're looking to that be complete by 2027 as well. And that's about $14 million structure that will be there for us. The constantly looking at our downtown. Isn't that a beautiful picture of a downtown Main Street? And that beautiful downtown Main Street structure there, picture there, we get calls now that we don't have adequate parking. We need more parking. And so we're looking now to look at parking on that end on the of the street to make sure that everybody is served. More businesses have opened up, more business opportunities continue to be there. And in fact, I heard the other day, I was in a meeting, 90% of the first level buildings in downtown Kingsport are occupied. 90%. That's amazing. That's amazing. And it's about 95%, I believe, that same as it's out at the pavilion. We are seeing great growth in our city during this time. We are implementing a new customer information system called Grace. I know you probably like me, no one wants to talk to AI. We'd all want to have a real person online, but Grace is able to take in over hundreds of calls simultaneously and do that. They've been tested and they're constantly there to take your answers. If you have a question about water, sewer, connections, whatever, Grace is going to be able to help you get that. And also, if you must need a person to talk to, Grace will get you that person to talk to. Like we have our economic development continues to move. You've experienced in the recent announcements we've had with our boutique hotel. We made the IMAX announcement several years ago, but IMAX is coming to town. It will be opening later this year. And if you drive by the 400 Mall, you can see that structure well on its way in the air. This week, the demo of the Dominus Taylor began, and that will be another place that will complete our structure down here in town as a good gateway to our city. Brickyard Park, we have homes up and there. Another indication things are alive and well in our city. So we look at all these things that we have. We should be at a point where we all are feeling pretty good about the progress we're making. I know that there's times when we don't always say those type things, but I can tell you, this week, there were people from the other cities that had meetings in our city hall wanting to know how we do things. I mean, oftentimes people say, well, we need to be more like that city. We need to be more like that city. And I want to tell you, those cities are coming to sit here and asking questions of how you do things, how you have such a good relationship with your schools. How do you do that? So, Chris McCart's not here. I want to sing his praises. He is probably the dean of city managers in our area. They're constantly calling upon him, asking him questions, how to do this, how to do that. So we're lucky to have him. This morning, our chamber recognized him for the work that he's been doing for all of us. We talked about recreation. I want to move to Northeast State. Northeast State's been in our city for 25 years. They're looking at expanding, continuing the health offerings for downtown Kingsport. They're purchasing the CATS building from us, and so that will be another addition. The State Industrial Access Road is on its Way. It's a $30 million project that will connect Realport Road over behind up to the Aquatic Center area. And that will open up about 150 acres of land for development for our city. Memorial Boulevard. It's on its way. It's on its way. $100 million project. $100 million project. State and federal dollars are there. Once they begin, and they are slated this year to begin that project. Once that project begins, it becomes a state road pretty much. Take care of that. So, what I'm telling you, if you see a pothole on that road or anything during that time, it's the state's responsibility. We also thankful for you and others who work with us, give us feedback on our land use plan. Using Kimberly Horn out of Knoxville to help us develop that plan. What's the exciting thing coming to us is our new elementary school. It's in the planning phases. That I think as of today, there are 3 options that may happen in the Lynn Garden area. The Lynn Garden citizens are excited about this addition. They've already had a meeting, a town hall type meeting there, and they were able to come out and give comments. So that looked pretty good. It looks pretty good. So look for that school to be coming out in 2028. Coming attractions. We've got an otter habitat opening, Bays Mountain, in March. That's a groundbreaking. The Renaissance reopening in March. For the senior citizens who want to get back and doing what you do there. Blue Cross Healthy Place at Riverwalk, April. Friendship Hyundai dealership on Stone Drive will open in April. Meadowview Task Force, looking at Meadowview. We expect to report out May and June. The IMAX Theater will be later summer, fall. And then there's the city elections in August. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Do I have questions?